Hello, 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 fellow tourist. My name is Josh, and welcome to Dr. Stone. Joining me today is my baby, little Maxie. Just jumped on my lap. I was just record this, and well, so I'm recording this segment. If you notice, the lighting's a little different. I'm recording this segment in the morning, and I'm going to be watching Dr. Stone later tonight. And I sat down, and my dog is like, "Hello." How adorable. Oh, what a good boy. So yeah, welcome back to Dr. Stone. This is episode 10. Oh no. After this one we have, what, 2 episodes left, I think? 2 episodes, maybe 3. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be 2 more episodes. We got a lot of stuff. Last week I was just flabbergasted. Last week was such a great episode with Chrome at the end. I just forgot to write stuff down, and the discussion, my discussion was really short. A lot happened, and I'm pretty sure I didn't mention quite a few things. Like the 2-week timer that both the Kingdom of Sciences have. Tsukasa is going to allegedly dig a hole from the mountain they're on to, I guess, under Zenos' base, or at least close enough to Zenos' base for a surprise attack where guns are ineffective. And Zeno is building something, and that something is the actually the topic of a comment from our Patreon. Ann Leafdor, she once again left a great comment, and I think that this comment is probably pretty important to discuss before the episode. So if this goes on for too long, go ahead, check out the timestamps and go straight to the episode if you want to. But yeah, I think this comment gives some pretty good insight, which is probably might be explained in this episode. So I want to read it before we actually start the episode, and then start the episode. So, about what Zeno and the others are building. I'm not sure I can speculate what it is, but I don't think it's a bomb or anything else that can cause mass destruction. Not just because I imagine Zenos' Kingdom of Science has plenty of powerful enough weapons that they don't need something like that to beat Senku's crew, and Zeno knows it. The Medusa has only made him more careful in their approach, but also because simply blowing up the Kingdom of Science goes up against Zenos' mentioned goals. It was mentioned in this episode that Stanley purposely didn't shoot Senku in the head because they wanted him to be able to pass on the formula of the revival fluid to his comrades in the off chance that Senku was the only one who knew it. The Americans want the formula. If they simply blew them up in one massive explosion, then they would most likely never get it. Next, during their first conversation over the telephone, Zeno asked them to surrender and start working for him because they were lacking manpower. Killing them all would leave Zeno and his team with as little manpower as they started with. And you could say, well, if they know how to make the revival fluid, then they don't necessarily need to keep the Kingdom of Science alive anymore to have more manpower. The thing is, Senku knows Zenos' factory produces all the ingredients that they would ever need to make unlimited revival fluid, but Zeno doesn't know that. For all he knows, the ingredients for revival fluid is incredibly rare and impossible to get in the USA. For all the goals Zeno has mentioned beyond the very basics, wish to be a dictator, killing the Kingdom of Science in one fell swoop is counterproductive as things stand. Also, from his character, I imagine he and Stanley still think themselves pretty capable of making a kitty Kingdom of Science kneel to them without needing to kill them all. They don't see them as much of a threat. And they don't see them as much as a threat, I think, yet. And yeah, that completely went over my head last episode, because Anne's right. Zeno has mentioned many times for multiple times, they want the Kingdom of Science for their manpower. They want the revival fluid from Senku, and that's why Senku's still alive. Stanley could have hit a headshot. They need the manpower, the revival fluid, and most importantly, I think Zeno, maybe outside of seeing Senku as an equal, he probably sees everyone else in the Kingdom of Science as nothing. I don't know if Zeno necessarily saw Senku as like a major threat, but I feel like he did see him as an equal, and that's why he needed to die. But everyone else, he probably thinks he can control like pretty easily, which he's underestimating Ryusui and their leadership and their loyalty. But yeah, so like, I don't think it's a bomb, but for Zeno to have so much confidence that the Kingdom of Science is going to give up after either whatever this thing is being revealed, maybe, or like he uses it on something else. I just don't know what it can be. Like, why is he so confident that, like, yes, this invention in 2 weeks is going to change, like, turn the playing field? Like, the Medusa is not going to matter once this thing is constructed. Maybe maybe it is a bomb, but as a bluff. Like, he'll like, I have a bomb now, and Ryusu is like, he'll never use that. He needs us for manpower. But I'm not sure. If it's not a bomb, I don't know what it can be, and I'm really interested and excited to actually see what it is. I don't think we're gonna see it this episode. It's probably gonna be saved for the finale, which, yeah, I think they could stretch a 2-week time span within 3 episodes. I think we're gonna be waiting a little bit for the reveal, and I'm really interested to see what Zeno has cooking. But before we go on, I want to finish her comment because she has some cool stuff to say about Chrome and Senku. Chrome is definitely cool with his inventing. I do imagine he would have done very well if he had been born in the modern times, and I do love that Senku never underestimates him. But I also love the way that Chrome has an entirely different view of science, as a scientist who grew up in a world where they lacked almost everything. It's wonder, but also a heavy thing how much even simple inventions could have helped the people he grew up with. People who had hard lives or even died when they wouldn't have needed to. His first reaction to Senku telling him about the science and everything they lost through the petrification in Season 1, he got angry because how could they lose this? I will say though, Senku invented revival fluid. I imagine he'd love to spend time on purely new research and inventing more completely new things, but he has a world to remake, and that has to come first. He's responsible for a lot. He has people to teach. Like he said in episode 1, science is often a slow process. It's not like he can erase everything he already knows from his memory. And this makes the list of completely new things he can invent in this scenario a lot shorter than it is for Chrome. And yeah, that's fair. It's ironically enough, I was saying people need to give Chrome more credit for like all the inventions he makes, because a lot of the times when he makes something, outside of Senku, most people go like, oh, it's just a wheel, like, oh, it's just a drill. But he's coming up with that on his own. He has no reference for that. Meanwhile, Senku out here, I did not give him the credit. It completely went over my head that revival fluid is a new invention. Like, that's not something that ever existed. He had to experiment. It took him like a year and a half-ish to experiment, come up with, just go through a bunch of birds, go through a bunch of processes until he finally nailed it down. And Zeno has not taken that time, and I've discussed that before. So yeah, that's completely my bad. Like Senku, like, he has not only made like the thing that's probably going to save the world, but also like he can make new things. It's just going to be so much harder for him, especially in the stone world, because a lot of the things that he can make are already a lot of the stuff that he can make that he already knows. It's already a challenge because of the materials that he has and lack of like actual technology, of modern day technology. And I would assume to make new things, he would probably need to be like at some power of modern day technology. So like he's already kind of like at a disadvantage when compared to Chrome. Chrome has no idea what any of this stuff is. He has so much stuff that he can make up, and he has no reference for it. So yeah, you're right. That's completely my bad. And I love the way that you described how Chrome has a different way of seeing science. And you're right. Like, he got angry back in season 1 because of how much they lost. And if you think about it, like Ruri, she was dying of pneumonia, I think. And back in season 1 with the flashbacks with Byakuya and his crew, when one of their crew was dying of pneumonia, Byakuya was like angry and frustrated, like, it was just pneumonia. That's something that we have a cure for, something that we can fix, but because of the petrification, it was lost. Same thing with Ruri, and who knows how many other people were dying of diseases that like were already cured, like were already curable because of science. It's just, yeah. And I wanted to mention that comment because Chrome is the main scientist now. It's not Dr. Stone, it's Dr. Chrome, even though Senku's last name was never Stone, but it's Dr. Chrome now because Senku is out of commission. I do think Senku's probably going to be out of commission for the rest of this part. So these next 3 episodes, I think Chrome is going to have a major part to play, which I'm super excited because I feel like Chrome hasn't really done much since the end of season 2, maybe. I don't remember him doing a lot in season 3. I know he was around, but I think he spent most of that time petrified. But yeah, I'm excited to see Chrome. I loved Chrome in season 1 and season 2. He's one of my favorite characters. Take a shot every time I say that. So let's get into this episode, and we're gonna cut tonight when I'm actually able to record this episode.
No, Hyoga. You can't, you bastard.
Nah, I don't think Hyoga is actually.
I guess Zeno does kind of go with his. Nah.
Okay, nice fake out.
We've got our best craftsmen hard at work.
Kaseki. I hope Kaseki joins them. Dang, they actually made the drill really fast.
Don't know what the plan is, but it oozes bloodlust. I always love a challenge, but I still couldn't shake feeling unsettled while I was crafting that thing.
Just gonna use it to take dirt.
Oh, I love that no one knows how to use a drill. That's great.
Bring him the mobile lab while we're at it. Involving more people raises the risk.
Yeah. So who do you send? You gotta send like
Time has come for
a
our resident man beast to do his thing.
man beast. Taiju? Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say you have to send like maybe one or two of like your most strongest, most capable men. You don't need to send a whole fleet. Just one or two. And Taiju's all you need. That's all the manpower you need right there. Grab him, Taiju!
Oh man, looks like he settled the argument for us! Hey, I'm Taiju. Nice to meet you. Let me guess, you guys are gonna spy on us for the doc, aren't you? Just like what we
Knock him out, Taiju. Take him.
I think can't understand it, but
Okay, so they can't. Okay, the language barrier is here then.
bombastic voice doesn't need translation.
Is Miss Luna still safe?
Sorry, I can't quite understand you.
So they kept the
She's
subtitles.
fine. In fact, she's looking after my best friend. I promise you that none of us would ever dream of hurting her. So don't worry.
I don't know a single lick of Japanese, but one thing's for certain. That's a real solid guy right there. There's no denying it.
Taiju's friendliness transcends the language barrier.
I hate to ask, but does Taiju even have a license?
I forgot that these guys were like 16 or 15 when they got stoned.
My bad. I don't have a
Gen was the only one that had a license, right?
I'm worried that I'll hurt myself, right?
Ah, Taiju, I'm so glad to see you. Oh, I'm so glad to see Taiju have screen time. It's just it's the little things in life, guys. Is he crying or sweat? Oh, he's sweating. Oh, he is locked in. Oh, it is not. Okay, it's legitimately a drill. Okay. I did not realize they built all this. It worked.
You must understand. Nothing can stop him from taking charge. In science
That's just the guy he
and
is.
in battle.
Oh my god, look at him.
Get the stethoscope. Use it to listen to my breathing in both my lungs.
Even Senku knows how to be a doctor. Oh my gosh.
I knew I liked him the moment I saw him.
This is an interesting. This is the first.
Guy. He's so blunt and foul-mouthed.
This is the first kind of romantic thing that Senku has had in this series.
Dr. Senku.
I mean, I know we have Ruri and Chrome and Taiju and Yuzuriha.
I absolutely can't let him die.
Is this Senku's
I
first?
mean, I can't let anyone die, but especially not
It's
him.
the first person that's had a crush on Senku.
So, just stab me with a needle and drain it.
I love how demonic he is.
Luna, a cool-headed gal. I'm Luna, a capable woman. Cool-headed Luna, capable Luna.
I just watched this in Daredevil.
And I'll need a transfusion.
Oh my god, how do you do this in the stone
Someone
world?
with AB.
Sure, go.
How do you know that?
Gonna help us stop you from dying.
If you do survive this, will you be my boyfriend?
You're gonna give him a heart attack right then and there.
It finally happened.
3, 2, 5, 6.
Is the message something bad?
What the hell? Why is he crying? What happened?
What is going on?
I finally have a
So she just went to the.
What's up with this load of crap?
So now he's on our side, right?
To hell with Xano's stupid plan.
Yeah.
Max and I are both exclusively Team Luna. We'll follow her straight into hell itself.
All right. Yeah. All right.
Exquisite. You'll make a proper ally indeed.
Now, someone go tell
And we can
Max,
count on
because
our inside man.
right now
Again,
we kind of need him to relay the wrong information to Zeno.
3511
Nice.
14.
Okay. I didn't even realize he had one of these.
Code, eh?
The heck are they building? It looks like a missile. That is not a bomb. That's a missile. Oh my god.
Less than 48 hours until it begins. Our decisive battle.
Less than 48 hours. So it's been 2 weeks already?
Like a vehicle? Something even our brilliant Senku won't see coming.
It's a missile. I don't know what that thing is. Okay.
So I'm dating Senku now, right? Nothing's changed between us. We don't hang out or anything. And he
Girl,
hasn't
he's bed rest. He was shot.
A capable, cool-headed Callan, for instance. Let's get crazy and talk this through. It's not like he's 10 billion% uninterested in
Oh, she's already using the 10 billion %.
Prudent, but he doesn't care for me 1 millimeter. It's not possible anyone could.
She's using all of his lingo.
Right?
You should probably know that he got married to accomplish his goals.
Married?
Yeah, but that didn't last long.
Ryusui's flying, right? Hell yeah!
Got her own plane. Ryusui's got to be flying this thing. Look at that. Look at that monster.
Show us your moves.
Yeah!
Pro pilot's made of. This one's for Senku. We'll avenge him. I ain't dead yet.
Second, what do you do? I guess it's been 2 weeks. Okay.
How cool is this?
It's science versus science.
Alright, so it's gonna end with the dogfight. It's gonna end with like this really cool splash image. It could be a wallpaper of the planes going at each other. Or not. No, it's gonna end like that. I was close. Yeah, and it's over.
Man. It's another good episode. This season, I've said it once. Actually, I'm going to keep these close by because I'm going to rewatch some stuff. I've said it once, I'll say it again. This season would be so easy to binge. A lot of seasonals right now that I plan on watching. I haven't even started watching them yet. Like Solo Leveling, The Apothecary Diaries, and I feel like there's a couple more that I like haven't started. Not super big names. There's like a lot of seasonals right now that I've purposely not watched because I want to binge them all. And I think Dr. Stone would have been one of those, especially since on Instagram, like on a lot of my social media sites that I use, Dr. Stone does not get spoiled that much. I've seen like some Solo Leveling memes. Luckily, I haven't really seen anything for the Apothecary Diaries, which I'm surprised because I thought that was a lot bigger than it. I thought that was a lot bigger. Like I thought during season 1, like there was a lot of spoilers kind of on Instagram and my social media stuff, but not a lot for season 2, which I'm don't get me wrong, I'm glad, I'm happy about. But Dr. Stone, I don't feel like I see a lot of spoilery like appreciation posts. Or maybe I've fixed my algorithm so I don't get spoilers anymore. But Dr. Stone definitely would have been one of those that I'm like, I'm gonna if I wasn't doing YouTube, it would have been one of those I'm gonna wait, and I probably would have finished it all in one go. Cause I swear this series, just like every episode just ends, and like you start the episode ends, and you think, where did the 20 minutes go? That's my question. Where did the 20 minutes go? I'm gonna just start with the play. Not even the play. The timeline. I'm gonna repeat. I feel like I do repeat myself a lot. I've said before that Dr. Stone can do a lot of stuff with its pacing, right? Some episodes, like maybe a day passes. We spend the whole episode doing one thing, or building something to get something else. Another episode, maybe a couple weeks pass, and one episode, maybe a year passes. Who knows? This one, it's 2 weeks, or maybe not 2 weeks, but like a lot of time has passed because in last episode, both Tsukasa and
what's his name, Dr. Brody. Both of them said it would take them 2 weeks to be able to do whatever it is that they're doing. Sukas is building his tunnel, which looks like it just kind of barely started, but maybe not. Maybe off screen it's gotten a lot further in. And Zeno, at the very least, makes it sound like they are very close to completing whatever Brody is doing. And I'm telling you, Brody is building a missile. I don't know what that thing is. It could be a giant Christmas tree for all I care. He's gonna unite the Kingdom of Science with the spirit of Christmas. That's what he's doing. That's definitely what he's doing. But no, I know we just went through Anne's comment, but maybe it's a bluff, right? Maybe it's like, Kingdom of Science, I've built this missile, surrender, right? And then Ryusui and Senku will be able to call that bluff because they're like, well, he wants the revival fluid recipe. He's not going to blow us up. This is a bluff, you know? And Ryusui will go, haha, he's not going to shoot the missile. He needs manpower. I don't know. I really don't know what this thing could be. Because Anne's right. It goes against everything Zeno said to just wipe out the Kingdom of Science in one fell swoop. So what the heck is this thing? I have no idea. I like that I'm grasping at straws here. Like, what can this thing be? Especially when you take out anything that's a one-hit kill. You know, like, what is he building? And I like that it's not something that's super obvious. Like, oh, he's obviously building this, right? It's I like that a lot. I feel like not a lot of shows can keep you guessing at like that anymore. A lot of times it's kind of like, okay, so they're going to go down this this rabbit hole. They're going to go down this trope. But no, Dr. Stone is like, hey, even if it is a missile, right? The fact that I'm double guessing if it's a missile, that's great. I love it when shows can do that. It's a lot like when Kenny and I went through the Owl House. We just gaslit ourselves into going like, no, it can't be this thing. It has to be this. And we would we would have the right answer and we would talk ourselves out of it. Like, I feel like Owl House, Gravity Falls, and Dr. Stone. Apothecary Diaries too. There's a lot of great shows that do that, but also like there's not too many that do it either. I don't know what I'm even rambling about, but I like that I cannot 100% confirm what they're building. That's great. And then Ryusui and Senku are okay. Yeah, another thing, like the 2 weeks, like Senku is bedridden, he out, and now he's flying a plane. Granted, he still looks awful, but he's flying now. He's out of bed. I thought for sure for at least the rest of this season he would be bedridden, but apparently not. Oh man, this show's so much fun. Yeah, Ryusui and Senku, they're flying. Ryusui for sure. I thought like that he was gonna be our pilot because, I mean, like, can anyone else be the pilot on this in the crew? Senku, like seeing him there after he shot, obviously I'm surprised, but it makes sense that he would be there. Like, he can make quick decisions. He can also do quick decisions, and if something goes wrong in the air, he could probably try and fix it like really quickly with his science. But man, it's dangerous. It's kind of like putting all your eggs in one basket, because if Stanley shoots them down and they both go, I mean, I know they have Chrome, but losing Senku is such a blow. Losing Ryusui would be an incredible blow too. But Senku is like, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. But technically, this entire plan is dangerous. Cause I was watching Blindway's reaction, and one of them mentioned like how much of a gamble the Perseus crew is, because almost everyone that's important, not just like you know, like, oh yeah, all the main characters are on the ship, but like all these main characters are super specialized in their fields. Chrome and Senku are the science guys. If you wanted to be smart, at least one of them would stay behind in Japan. But they have both their science guys. They have a lot of their strongest muscle. They have Ryusui, like their best leader. Francois, Mr. and Mrs. I can do anything. like they're what's a switch army knife, right? Like they can do anything. So I mean, I guess like the Kingdom of Science is not new to taking these risks. But like if Stanley sees Senku, like they have to take Stanley down, because if Stanley sees Senku in the pit or in the cockpit, he's gonna report to Zeno real fast, and we know they have that instant communication. So it's either you knock his communication, or you take out Stanley. I don't think they're gonna kill Stanley off. No, I don't really think we've killed a lot of people off. We've petrified people. I don't think we've like definitively killed anyone in this show. I could be mistaken. I could be wrong. I mean, he'll get killed like 3 grunts, but we like no like named or important characters. So I don't know, sending Senku out in the open like that, and Carlos is still Max is still watching too, unless Luna somehow told him that she's working with Senku, but Max is still watching. So that, like, if he saw Senku on the, does he know? No, maybe he doesn't know what Senku looks like. But I don't know. Next episode's gonna be hype though. A dogfight? That's gonna be hype. I wonder, because Senku doesn't have any guns, right? Like the Kingdom of Science doesn't really use guns other than the little pistol that Yo has. So maybe unless they were building some of those, I wonder what they're gonna do to fight Stanley in the air. Like, are they gonna try and drop stuff on him? Like rocks, maybe? I don't know. That's gonna be an interesting dogfight. But I wrote down a lot more. I wrote down a lot more this episode, and I wanted to go back really quick. I'm gonna try and keep talking, so like the commentary isn't just me watching stuff. But I wanted to go back and re-listen to some stuff in the original audio, in the Japanese. He'll find out about the tunnel. He'll talk to them about the tunnel. Okay, so he does recognize a little bit of Japanese. He doesn't know everything. He's not fluent. It's so weird hearing their voices in the sub. Like, these are not the people. These are not the voices I see coming out of these characters' mouths. Okay, so his inner monologue is also in Japanese. Okay, no, so it looks like they're kind of doing the same thing in the sub. I was gonna say, I wonder if this is like a really big kind of like I was gonna say, I wonder if I'm like missing out watching on the dub, because whatever, like the whole dub versus sub argument, I'm glad that I'm not seeing that argument as much anymore. I feel like in the community, I think people have just accepted that people are gonna watch whatever version they prefer. But I was wondering, like, am I missing out watching the dub in terms of like, is a lot of the American Kingdom of Science, or a lot of the American science team, is that a lot in English, or like broken English? It doesn't have to be fluent, but are they speaking English as the community dubs it? I was wondering, like, how much of this is like subtitled for the Japanese, right? Like for the Japanese audience or the original audience. But at least the 3 clips that I just went through, it looks like Carlos is speaking Japanese. Or at least like it looks like he's speaking Japanese, and well, like Taiju's also speaking Japanese. So like, I guess not much. I'm not missing out much on much. It's still kind of the same questions of like, when are they speaking their own language, and when are they speaking their other language? Yeah, I just realized there's one. Let me switch back to Japanese. There's one spot I just remembered where Carlos is asking about Luna, and in the English dub, they actually had subtitles for him, so he probably spoke in English in the Japanese version. Let's see. I think I found the area. Okay, yeah, okay, he did speak. That's the only time that they spoke English in the Japanese that I've been able to find in this episode. But no, I guess I'm not really missing out on much. I think I would still have the same questions if they were speaking, like if I was watching the sub. I'm not sure because I just kind of like looked randomly throughout this episode for the clips. And maybe I will go back one day and rewatch Dr. Stone and stuff. But it'd be really hard because after 4 seasons, like these are my voice actors. These are the voices I imagine coming out of these characters' mouths. It's weird it's weird hearing someone else speak as Taiju. But, okay, that was just something I wanted to, because I wrote down language barrier because I wanted to remember that. So I guess Carlos and the rest of the Kohaku, I think Taiji said the Kohaku team. I guess Carlos and the Kohaku team were just kind of like going like, okay, I think this is what you mean. All right, thanks for drawing the map. Like, why are you with us? Why are you on our side now? Like he knows Miss Luna's voice, but he also understood Miss Luna saying that she has a boyfriend in the code. It doesn't matter anymore. Just say that everyone knows how to speak everyone's language. I'm sure I'm just making this way more complicated than it has to be. I would flip through them all. Let me see if I can. Let's see, how much do I have? Oh, I'm scared. Alright, grab volume 22. Let's see. I'm trying to be very careful looking at this. This is a game. Okay. No. Okay. 21 it is. Nope. Okay. 20 it is. 18. I don't have 20 yet. I just kind of want to skip to... Yeah, here's Dr. Taiju. I don't know. Maybe it's not... Dr. Taiju. Man, I love this. I cannot wait to start reading the manga for this. Yeah, okay, I don't know. I guess it's just not super evident when they're speaking their languages. But like I said, maybe I'm just making this much more complicated than it needs to be. Let's see. Yeah, the drill, they got that going. Which I thought for a sec, I didn't realize that they built the whole contraption. I thought for a second it was just like a spearhead to replace Hyoga's, because he was doing like his technique and he was already drilling a hole. So you just put an actual drill head there and then he drills a hole. I mean, we've seen much more fantastical things happen on the show, so why not, right? But no, they actually built a whole drill contraption. And that's really cool. I love it. I feel like if they wanted to, they could have dragged that out. And I don't mean like drag it out in a bad way, but they could have like kind of turned this episode into we're making the drill episode, which I feel like we haven't really done a lot since season 1. Season 1, I think we had a lot of those where it's like we're building the light bulb and we go step by step on what the materials we need. And that would take episodes sometimes. Or, there was something else. The building the car, I think that was an episode. That was in season 2. I feel like early Dr. Stone, we used to do a lot of those where we would spend an episode building something. But like season 3 and 4, it's been a lot more plot related. I kind of miss that slower pace. I'm not going to lie. But also, like, I do want to get into the plot. So I understand why, like, all right, we're not going to go step by step on how to build the drill. Kosuke just makes, we send a design to Kosuke and he makes it. And then like plot, right? But I do kind of miss that slower pace. Because I feel like it was a lot where you can get to see more of the characters shine. This was a very fast-paced episode. I feel like a lot of stuff happened this episode in terms of moving up the timeline. A lot of people are going into their end game now, which I feel like I'm also conflicted. Like, I don't think we're going to deal with Zeno in these next 2 episodes. I feel like that's just too fast. Like, I feel like Zeno's been built up to be a much bigger, or not bigger, I don't know. I'm gonna let them cook. If we deal with Zeno in these 2 episodes and the next arc is going to either space or dealing with something else, probably like it's probably still gonna be satisfying. But I don't know if we're gonna be able to. Like, I don't know if like we're gonna get like a satisfying delivery with this whole Zeno stuff in just 2 episodes. Because I feel like Zeno's like this big threat. I feel like we're gonna leave off on a cliffhanger, but I'm not sure anymore because we are going by very fast. This episode especially. And Dr. Luna. Ooh. Yeah, the lung in, or the blood in the lung. I just watched a few days ago. I'm rewatching Daredevil because Daredevil Born Again's on Disney, and I have not seen season 3 of Daredevil, and I've not seen the original 2 seasons of Daredevil in many years. So I'm rewatching the whole thing, and recently, I think it's in episode 2. I think Daredevil's lung collapses because he has blood in it, and they have to. They gotta stab something in him. It's not fun. It's gruesome. Oh man. Oh, poor Luna. She flunked out of med school. She has to do this to her boyfriend. That's another thing. Senku's got a girlfriend now. Luna the capable gal. He cannot get a more capable girlfriend. That's gonna be fun. I hope that after this whole Zen, because I like, you know, obviously, like, it's plot right now, right? I hope after the Zeno stuff we have a lot of fun with the whole Luna being Senku's girlfriend. I want teasing from Taiju, or not, maybe not teasing from Taiju. I want teasing from Ryusui, and I want Taiju to be genuinely happy for Senku, completely overlooking everything, like completely overlooking like Senku would never do this. Or like, hey buddy, we're not actually dating. No, Senku, good for you, man. I want teasing from Tsukasa. Yes, I want teasing from Tsukasa. I mean, that'd be hilarious. I kind of hope they have fun with the Senku Luna thing. Like, oh, it's not a proper romance, because my boy Senku was very confused. He's like, the one thing I cannot sign for you is me becoming your boyfriend, and I think Luna kind of strong-armed him into it. She said, you don't need to answer, you just gotta think about it, and she immediately said, he's my boyfriend now. It's great. I love it. Which is the first official couple of the show, guys. I mean, Taiju said that he's not gonna date Yuzurika until this whole thing is over. Ruri and Chrome will never get together because Chrome keeps fumbling the moment. So yeah, I guess Senku and Rudy were the first couple of the Stone Worlds of our cast, but you know, he got a divorce real fast. So I think this might be our first official couple of the Stone World. Congratulations, Senku and Rudy, and Luna, not Rudy. Yeah, this episode was, honestly, I think this episode would have been amazing for 40 minutes. I think it was very fast paced, and we could have had time to like not flesh out some things, but like to let things breathe. Like Senku's hospital stay, or Senku's injuries, to see how grave it is. We could have seen a little bit more of the crew on the boat building the runway, their helicarrier. No, it's not that. That's from Marvel. Oh shoot, their aircraft carrier. And we could have seen a little bit more of Chrome making the designs for the drill, which I wonder, is that what he was sweating about? Was he sweating because like Kaseki made the drill head? I know Taiju's just carrying resources and materials, right? He wasn't actually carrying the contraption that they put the drill head in, right? Was that why Chrome was sweating so much? He's like, I'm making the plans for this contraption, gotta be perfect. Or does he have something else up his sleeve? But next episode, it looks like we have a dogfight on Senku's side, and if Zeno's getting ready to reveal whatever Dr. Brody is building, then that means Tsukasa is either he's already built his tunnel, or he's very close to completing his tunnel. So we're gonna have a fight on 2 sides. 3 technically if we count whatever Gen's doing. My poor boy is stuck in prison and he can't really relay anything. But that's smart. I didn't realize that he had an earpiece. I didn't realize he had the radio communicator, or at least listener. He can't communicate, but he can listen. I didn't realize he had that. That's great. I almost forgot that they built that back in season 3. So much happened this episode. This was a big one. Evie sent for his comments. He sent a lot of comments. I can see why. This was a very big episode. But before we get into the comments for this episode, we are going to. Oh, I forgot to turn. I need to turn my dark mode back on. Oh my gosh, that was very bright. I want to look at a couple of comments from from last week's. 2 of them are from Ashes, and I think one of them is from let me see, Alex. Yeah. One of them is from Alex, and 2 of them for Ashes. So the first one from Ashes, which is a very quick one. Oh wait, I didn't like. Oops, I forgot to like them and heart them. My bad, man. I'm usually on top of that. Okay, so number 1, can we just take a moment to praise the studio? They have given Dr. Stone the best adaptation it could have, and it's true. What's the studio's name? I know the studio kind of got some flack because Sakamoto Days is coming out, and people are like, oh, the studio that's doing Dr. Stone is doing Sakamoto Days. Sakamoto Days is so cooked. I watched a whole video on it. Let's see, what's it? TMS, yeah. And TMS, oh my god, TMS did Kami-sama Kiss and Fruits Basket. That's crazy. So there's like kind of this controversy, not really controversy thing on Twitter. Give me a second. Wait, I need it. My bad, guys. Give me a second, guys. Yeah, so there's like this Twitter controversy that like, oh no, TMS, they did Dr. Stone, and Dr. Stone's animation's terrible, so they're not gonna be able to make Sakamoto Days. But like, I think I've said this before, at least at one point. Dr. Stone is not an action anime, right? Like, yeah, sure, maybe Studio like Mappa or Wit, right? If they got Dr. Stone, they probably would have gone like super extra. Like it would have been like this crazy adaptation. It would have been like, whoa, I can't believe they just built that in 8K or like 400 frames per second. But Dr. Stone doesn't need that. TMS is like, the studio is doing a great job with Dr. Stone, like with its pacing, the character, like the faces that they make. The expressions, that's what it is. Conveying the emotions and the expressions of the characters. And like, it's just one of those adaptations where it's a perfect adaptation. That's what I think. If I read the manga, maybe like, oh, I wish they kept this or something. But Dr. Stone's such a great show, and it's mostly because of the story. Like, the story is just so great. The story and the characters are great. I think TMS has done a great job of taking what the manga has and translating it into a show. I can't wait to read the manga. I've been collecting it. I haven't read it yet. I plan on reading it after the show wraps up, because I don't want to get spoiled, obviously, and like that would just ruin the reactions. But I've been like collecting it, like, all right, so when the show ends, I can binge the manga next year, guys, next year. But yeah, I really like Dr. Stone's adaptation. And then Ashes also says, also just a fun fact, when Stanley was introduced in the manga, people thought that Stan was a female character, and people were predicting that Stan might be Senku's mother, which I thought Stan was a female character too in the promotional art for this video. Or not for this video, for this season. You kind of see Stan in the background. Zeno's right there in the forefront, and Stan's in the background. I thought that Zeno was Senku's dad somehow, but I thought Stanley was a woman. I didn't. I wasn't making theories that like Stanley would be Senku's mom. Mostly because I think when he was introduced, he spoke. So you didn't really get to have like that that mystery for too long. Actually, I think I said that he was Ryusui's mom. But no, so that mystery didn't get to stay long for me because he spoke and he had quite a few lines in his first introduction. But yeah, I thought he was a woman too, and my sister also thought that he was a woman, because I think she walked in on me like getting the episode ready to upload on YouTube, and she's like, "Oh, who's she?" Because Stanley was on the screen, and I was like, "Oh, that's a guy. His name's Stanley," and she's like, "That's a guy." So I guess just he kind of does have some feminine like. He is a little feminine. So it is not surprising that a lot of people thought that he was a woman. I will say that it's just not surprising because I also thought, and my sister also thought. So our next comment comes from Alex, and this is okay. So this is when last video in the discussion we were having a little talk about exactly what could the petrification ray fix, or what can it heal, and we went in depth in there. So I recommend you go check out that discussion last episode if you want to see like that full the full thoughts in there, because I think it was pretty interesting. But Alex has some answers for that, and he says, I want to say with the petrification, it only sews stuff together. Like for example, if you get stabbed, the petrification would basically sew back together the skin. So with things like cancer, lung issues, genetic mutations, etc., it would not heal them, just simply mend whatever things they tore or broke. Also with Tsukusa's sister's brain, it was more like of an issue with electrical impulses, which by reviving her basically factory resetted her brain's electrical impulses. So yeah, the discussion was on whether or not if the petrification healed Stanley's lungs, because Stanley is a heavy smoker. And I thought that it would give Stanley a clean bill of health, but apparently not. So that sucks. I mean, okay, the petrification can already do a lot of miracle work, but I really thought for like diseases like cancer or like Stanley's lungs, that it would be a clean bill of health. But it makes sense because I don't think we've seen it actually, other than Tsukusa's sister. I don't think we've seen it actually clear out a disease. And like Alex says, Tsukusa's sister, it wasn't really a disease. It was just restarting her brain, like her brain's electrical impulses. So that sucks, man. Well, I guess Stanley doesn't really care. I guess I feel not as bad now that Stanley started smoking again, because I was like, come on, man, that your clean bill of health. But now he's like, I'm already screwed. I can keep smoking. But it's cool to know the limits of petrification. It's not a heal all. It's more for physical injuries. But it's not gonna do anything if you're sick. Which I still gotta bring back medicine. Oh, I also forgot that Senku. I guess medicine is a science. So of course Senku knows how to do some of that. But he was very knowledgeable. He was teaching Luna how to do it, and she's the doctor. All right, we have I was gonna say 2 comments, not really. We have a lot of comments from Evie and one big comment from Alex. So I'm gonna go with Alex for right now. And Dr. Stone episode. Lol, the fake out at the beginning was funny. I know. I didn't think it was gonna actually do anything with that. Like I was like, Zeno kind of does. I think he kind of aligns with Hyoga's old goals, where Hyoga's like only the strongest can survive. Everyone uses their talents to their innate ability. Like everyone uses their innate talents to move forward, and no one will hold us back, and all that. which I guess if you think about it, everyone that's awake on Zeno's side is super talented, super strong in their own field. So it's kind of like what Hyuga was doing, but nah, it was a good fake out. I was like, what are we doing here? But it was a funny fake out. I love that like the crew are able to like see these old enemies like, hey, this guy tried to kill me, or this guy set us back months, and it's like, no, it's like, oh wow, that's so cool, you can drill it. And it's like, oh, my spear technique is being dirtied by this. But it feels like they've been a part of the crew for a long time, even though Hyuga just came back like late into season 3. We also haven't had a good Kasuki moment in the anime for a bit, so it was nice to see him again. Yeah, I feel that, like I said before, Dr. Stone's cast is huge, and like now we have to take in like every little moment that characters have, like Ukyo getting that arrow, Ukyo getting that shot in the last episode. That was so cool. And then Suika too, man. I feel like Suika hasn't had like a great moment in a while, at least not in this season. She had her moments in season 3, but like Suika is kind of just like there right now. But yeah, Kasuki getting to build something. That's kind of a reason why I wish this episode was dragged out just a little bit more, so we can see Kasuki getting excited to build the drill. We can see him go through the motions of building it. That's something I love about. Something I love about like the whole creation aspect of the show is just Kasuki's pure excitement to build all these contraptions. And actually, hey, I was proven a bit wrong. Max did have a little throwaway line this episode about how he's Luna's bodyguard. Okay, yeah. A bit of a blink and you'll miss it, but still. Yeah, so your comment, I think, a few episodes back, really helped in this episode. Because I think if I didn't read your comment, which TLDR, Alex said that Carlos and Max are not romantically simping. They're not romantically involved with Luna. They're more of her protectors. They're her guardians. They love her like parents. I think if I hadn't read that, I would have been a little bit confused on how fast the turn was for Carlos. For Carlos, because as soon as he heard that Miss Luna had a boyfriend and they were on the Kingdom of Science, he turned immediately. I think if I didn't know that they saw her more as like a daughter or like a really, really, really good friend, I would have been like, whoa, why are you turning so quickly, my dude? I thought you simped for her. But yeah, they did have a little throwaway line there. But still, I'm glad that you had your explanation of how they saw her as more family than someone to be romantically involved with. Because that explanation, I think, gives their characters a lot more depth. And I'm not sure if the show's going to be doing that for them. Like you said, it was a throwaway blink and you miss it line. The scene with Taiju meeting Max and Carlos was the reason to... I was a bit weirded out they had nothing indicating the language barrier, but hey, they had a little in there. Okay. Yeah, okay, so I wasn't the only one wondering the whole language barrier on both sides of the sub and the dub. Also, this is why I love Carlos. He's so funny. Yeah. I also just reread the manga. We actually finished one and are on the next one this episode. And seeing them so fresh in my memory again made me have like an out-of-body experience. I've waited so long for this to be animated. Oh, man. I'll just go... Have to say it again too because I'm watching and typing. I love Carlos. I wonder what my manga is gonna be like eventually, because right now I'm mostly an anime watcher, but I do have a lot of manga that I'm planning on reading, that I should read. I mean, take your pick, guys. I guess it might be Berserk, maybe, if we ever get a good Berserk adaptation. I know that there's the 1996, right? I know there's the 1996 version, but I haven't seen that yet. I will watch that after I read Berserk, or at least after I read the first, or however many arcs that is.
It's like what, 12 episodes? It's only 12 episodes. I don't know. I know it's pretty short. But I will watch the original Berserk after I read Berserk. As you see, I do need a few more volumes to complete that. But I wonder what my manga is gonna be, where it's like, oh man, I've been waiting for this adaptation for so long. I can't wait to see how they animate it, because I prefer watching and then reading. So I think most of the manga that I have read, I've already seen the anime too. So yeah, I wonder which one I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I read this like so many years ago. I can't wait to and they're finally animating it. I can't wait. I have a lot of that with comic books, like comic books and comic book movies, but it's not the same because they're adaptations. They're not like one-to-ones. And Carlos was great this episode. I mean, I guess Carlos did get more screen time, so it might be unfair to say that I like Carlos more than Max, but I like Carlos more than Max. He is funny. I don't know, there's just something about like the way that he's able to see how good Taiju is through the language barrier. He's like, I have no idea what he's saying, but I know this is a good man. And then like the immediate flip of like, all right, I'm gonna help you guys because Luna is in love with one of you guys. I don't know. There's just something really. I like Carlos a lot. That's another thing. Dr. Stone has got to stop making likable characters. I can only have so many favorites. I can only say I like this character this much. I can only say that so many times. But yeah, I like Carlos too. I would go in detail on why the Luna scene makes me pissed off, but I don't want you all to think that I'm that much of a Luna hater. I just mildly dislike her. Cough, why are you asking someone to be your boyfriend while they're literally dying? Yeah, okay, that's fair. But, you know, what's the defense I can get? Where's my lawyer's side? She didn't strong arm him. He was... No, yeah. I understand where you're coming from. I think in a more... like serious or kind of like drama either centric show or even centric episode with Dr. Stone, because Dr. Stone's got some good drama, but I think in like a more drama centric episode or show, her asking Senku to be her boyfriend right there would have been really weird. It would have been really out of place, but like in this I feel like they played it off more for comedy, especially with Senku's face. So like it's not that something that bothers me, especially since we know Senku's gonna be okay. And like she already checked the lung, she already poked him. It's not like it's like, all right, I will get the blood out of your lung, but you have to be my boyfriend. It's like, just consider it. All right, I already got the blood out of your lung. You're not dying right now. But will you be my boyfriend? Is that like, yeah? I don't know. I find Luna very funny, so maybe that's why I don't kind of like keep her scenes as much of a high bar as other scenes or from other people. I feel like it would be weird if it was like Yuzuriha doing that to Taiju. No, I get it. Like we're all entitled to like or dislike characters, and I feel like Luna is a character that people will either like or dislike. I don't think there's gonna be like a middle ground. But nah, it's cool, man. If you want, you can go ahead and leave in the comments or in the Discord. You know, you can check out our Discord if you want. To link in the description down below. But after you see this discussion, you can go ahead and say why you don't like Luna. That's all good, man. And then, Carlos being a proud father though. Help the play. Okay, yeah, Carlos being I thought that was gonna be continuing the same thoughts. I like the Dr. Stone. I don't know how they do it. They make every character so likable. They give all these characters such great moments. The cast can only get so big. And it's so cute watching like him go, oh, she has a boyfriend. All right, I'll help you, you know? Help, the plane design is so fire. It was not that sick in the manga. Yeah, the plane design, that is definitely Ryusui's design. Like, you know who painted that. That was definitely Ryusui, and it looks sick. It's gonna be such a good dogfight. Those colors are gonna look great.
And now I'm gonna go through Evie's right now, but let me. He just said he just DM'd me, so let me just tell him. I'm literally about to look at your comments right now. Oh man, this episode, Dr. Stone just makes me smile so much. Okay, okay, so Evie just responded to Alex right now in the Discord, talking about the whole language barrier. And Evie says, really, because in the dub, they tell you that there's a language barrier. Which I feel like Alex was talking more about the show didn't indicate. Because like sometimes, I forgot, what show was I watching? There was I can't tell you which one it was. I know there was a show. But there was a show that like I was watching and it just said like these characters were speaking in different languages, but they were clearly speaking the same language. And like in big text above it says these characters are speaking this language. So maybe that's I'm pretty sure that's what Alex was saying. Like the show itself didn't indicate that they were speaking a different language. They like the characters actually had to say like, oh, I have no idea what this guy's saying. Get it, audience? We don't know what he's saying, audience. Instead of like the show. It's different. I was a bit confused. I feel like this is a hard arc maybe to adapt, because on the American side, obviously they're going to be speaking English in private, right? So with like all the scenes with Zeno, Gen, and Zeno's Kingdom of Science, right? They're speaking English, but in the Japanese version, they're speaking Japanese, even though they're in private. And I'm sure in like they're at one point it just says like in big white text like translated from English. But then you run into a problem when they're the groups are mixed. It's fine with Gen there because I think Gen speaks multiple languages, but like I don't think a majority of the Kingdom of Science speaks that many languages. So sometimes like with Luna, it's kind of like, when is she speaking English, when is she speaking Japanese, and when is anyone else speaking the other language to her or with her? Like sometimes I get that confused because I thought she didn't speak Japanese, or I thought like the reason why she didn't pick up on some of the Medusa stuff was that she didn't speak Japanese, so they were able to speak in Japanese around her. But then you also have characters just going up to her and talking to her, and sometimes I have to go like, wait, they're probably speaking to her in English. Like Senku is speaking to Luna in English, right? But I don't know. I feel like this would be a hard one to like adapt this arc, just because I don't think you would want in like the Japanese version, right? I don't think you would want half the episodes or half the cast to be speaking in a different language and have like subtitles. And then like with the English version, again, like the whole reason why you're watching a dub is to watch it dubbed, so you probably don't want to have like subtitles. I don't mind that though. If I don't know how they would do this, but if in the English dub they kept the Japanese lines for, okay, let's say the scene with Taiju and Carlos, right? If they kept Carlos's Japanese lines and Taiju was still speaking English, I think that would work. I don't know how people would react to that in terms of like, oh, we're watching a dub, why isn't it dubbed? Or like, oh, it wasn't like this in the sub, they were just speaking the same language. But I think that would work. I would prefer something like that. Or, you know, make them speak Spanish. I thought that was great in The Devil's a Part-Timer. That was just a throwaway scene. Yeah, right now they're having a discussion. Yeah, so I think that's kind of like my stance on it. I kind of wish that they did have separate languages, but I understand why they don't, because that's like a whole that's like a whole bunch of stuff that you gotta put into production. But yeah, I wish they did. I wish they kind of went the extra mile to like kind of like go like these characters are speaking different languages, and there is like sorry, but half the episode will have to be subtitled, whether you're watching sub or dub. Like, you know, if a Japanese person is watching the Japanese, like half the episode would be in English, and if anyone else is watching like a dub, half that episode would be in whatever language they decide to give the Americans, which I think it'd be fun if like they just gave the Americans the Japanese voice lines. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Like, oh man, they're speaking English, clear Japanese. I think that'd be really funny. All right, okay, now we're gonna get into Evie's stuff, and just like FYI, Evie says later, like, I was late to this episode and I'm still watching it as I'm typing, so we're gonna get some unhinged. I'm gonna get some unhinged comments here. Look at Taiju making friends. I know. That's one of the Taiju's greatest strengths, that he can make friends with anyone and anything. Why am I shipping Kohaku and Hyoga? That's an interesting one. I don't know. I do not know. Joe Boys for life. I bet these kids have been yearning for a mine like this. The children yearn for the mines. Everyone's playing Minecraft. Send them back to the mines. That one time a bunch of high schoolers defeated a dictatorship ran by a NASA scientist. I'm a Chrome supremacist, and Senkyu gets bitches. I know Senku's Riz this season has been knocked up to 11. Maybe it's just because Luna. Maybe it's just like Luna's perspective on the whole thing. But I feel like Senku has gotten a lot more Riz this season than he has in previous seasons. And I'm also a Chrome supremacist. Alright, let's see the next batch. Luna, you have to no, Evie, no. It's for survival, I swear. You can do this, Luna. You're a capable gal. Luna shoots her shot. Finally, Tsukasa does something. First of all, ouch. Second of all, very true. Yes, join us, boys. We can get this now. Again, it's your time. I love that I can tell exactly where he is in the episode because of this. Let's see. The music at the end is what I need. The music at the end, I need it. I know, man. The soundtrack should probably come out by the time the season's finished, so we only gotta wait a couple more weeks. But I think that was a new track, and that was great. Luna isn't ready to know who Senku is. This man will use you and cast you out back into the streets when he's done with you. I hope not, man. I know it's weird. Or not weird. I know there's no build up to it. And typically, I prefer my romance to have build up. I prefer to have like the long kind of arc of a romance. But I don't mind. I don't mind if Luna and Senku somehow become endgame. Aircraft carrier time, and we're getting dogfights now. No, we're getting dogfights in the next episode. No, there you go. No, how could they cut it there? I need more. Why so cruel, Dr. Stone? I love that I can tell exactly where you are in the episode. That's hilarious. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and check out the Discord because right now they're having a discussion about the episode. So if you want to join in, make sure you do that. It's a lot of fun in there. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. We have 2 episodes of this left. I don't know if we're gonna be able to finish it all in one go, or not. I don't know if we're gonna be like finishing this arc in these next 2 episodes. I kind of hope not. I kind of want to see more of Zeno and Breathe, but knowing that we have 24 episodes after that, I don't know how this is gonna get paced. I don't know, but I'm excited to find out. Oh yeah, then Luna's speaking in Senku. Oh, that was adorable. Oh, I'm so rotted when it comes to romance. I'm so easy. But yeah, guys, like, comment, subscribe, do all the stuff, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.